You're watching Saints Now by Chat Sports. We are live on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. We're going to be live for the next, hour and a half or so, talking about some trade rumors, some news, some updates, everything you want to know as a Saints fan. Before this matchup, because we're also going to preview this Saints versus Bills game. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. I got my guy Loco Lopez on the ones and twos. So get in the comments section. Give me a Who Dat in there. And Lopez, would you do me a favor and give some shout-outs to the crew?
Of course. I already see my boy Jaden Barden in there. He's saying, what's up? Good afternoon. Jartavius Nathan saying, Who Dat. Brenton, Dolores, and Jerry G were all in here waiting for us while we were still getting ready to go live. Angel Morales saying, Who Dat. Anthony Bajorquez saying, how about no trade? I guess he doesn't want to trade anybody. I guess he's going out for a poll. Don't forget to vote, by the way. Pick one to trade out of Kamara, Demario Davis, Chris Olave, and Cam Jordan.
Get in the live poll. Make sure you get your voices heard there. Chris Olave leads the way with 34% of votes. 45 of those have come in so far.
And we also got Sean J. Says, got Carolyn Roselle, Todd French, Kentrell Harvey, CTM is back. We got some people going on. If y'all want to get more people in the chat, make sure to hit the like button and continue to comment so YouTube pushes our video out to more people who are also looking for live Saints content on this Thursday afternoon.
Oh, yeah. This is the audience build-up portion of the content. We have a lot of great stuff coming your way here in just a few minutes. We want to let the audience have an opportunity to click on that notification, join the squad, and then get in here. So that way we can all hang out together and get ready for this game and get ready for the weekend as a squad, as a family, because that's how we like to do it over here at Saints Now by Chat Sports. I see Althea, Eric, U.S. Champ, Jartavius, Manhattan, Christian, Richard, Austin, Eric, Kilowatt, and then Althea. Once again, good to see every single one of you. Appreciate you for giving out some shout-outs, Lopez. Had to tweet out the link. Had to tell the squad where we were because your boy forgot to do that. And your boy
know what we're doing
is a
on this
fool.
Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, if you're a real one, you know what we're doing Thursday afternoons. It's going live on the channel. We are going live on Saints Now twice a week during the week from here on out. And on top of that, we also go live on game days as well. That's not necessarily a change. We've been going live on game days the past couple years now. This year, though, for the first time, we're going to have every game with a producer, with some help. It's going to be a much more fun show, a lot more involvement. I'm able to give you guys a little bit more attention, and Lopez is over here absolutely grinding away and making our lives all happy. Without Lopez, I want it on record, there is no Saints Now by Chat Sports, so make sure you show him some love as well. Get in the comments, give Lopez a Who Dat in the comments section. Now, name a player that you would be willing to trade away. Let me know right now in the comments. Queen Courtney, good to see you. Christian says, Kamara is retiring a Saint. He made that incredibly clear. Chris Olave would eat on another team. I don't see any trades happening from Jerry. Christian says, Who Dat? Eric, you're funny. Appreciate you, Eric. Austin, no, we need an offensive line that doesn't break the record for penalties in the first 5 minutes. That's pretty funny. Jerry G wants to trade Cesar Ruiz. I would also like to trade Cesar Ruiz. However, I think the return you would get at best is maybe one of those like variety boxes of chips, but it's not the one you want with like the Flamin' Hot Cheetos and the purple Dorito bag and the Funyuns. No, it's the great value version with like the Frito knockoff and the plain Lay's. It's the bullshit, really, is what it is.
What if we threw in Isaac Yadam?
If we throw in Isaac Yadam, maybe we could get name brand. Maybe we get name brand chips. Now we're cooking with fire.
We're getting Chex Mix.
Todd says, I'll take the chips. Todd, I as well. At least the chips will not make us pissed off. Yeah, the chips won't let me down. The chips won't let me down. Ruiz and Groupie trade. I'd trade all of them. Dorothy says, don't trade anyone. That's what's wrong. They don't want to trade all the time. Everybody they got up there, they're good for the team. Trade somebody else. Good opinion there, Dorothy. Thank you for sharing. Kool-Aid can also go from Brenton. Chase Young from Leo. Ruiz and Groupie from U.S. Champ. Cesar Ruiz from Manhattan. SJG8 Saints fan says, I don't want to trade anyone on the list. No worries. Manhattan says, please release Ruiz. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Certainly would be interesting. Groupie Ruiz from Matt. Jamal, take the right guard for something that's bigger than the left one. Trade Rattler. He's trash as F. 0-9 as a starter. He's actually 0-3 as a starter because last year doesn't count. Nothing counts from last year because that wasn't the current regime. None of the coaching staff outside of a couple of random position coaches are the same. So I kind of erase last year. It doesn't really count. He was also in such a shitty situation. So JJ, you can at least acknowledge that he was not in a good situation last year. And if you won't acknowledge it or you refuse to, totally fine. Just understand I will never acknowledge your ball takes ever again. You have to at least acknowledge the fact that he was put in a really crappy situation and asked to turn chicken shit to gold. Not even chicken shit salad, as Jonah likes to say. JJ, I'll give you an opportunity to acknowledge that. Otherwise, I'm not ever acknowledging your sports opinions ever again. Name a player you would trade away. Joe says, let's go Bills. What up, Joe? Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you check out the Bills report, Bills breakdown. My guy Tyler Smith always doing stuff. We need a new kicker, not going to lie, from Kilowatt. We could definitely talk about it. All right, if you have a question or a hot take you want to get on the show, #Saints, send in a super chat. And Lopez, we have a little bit of a deal today. Because obviously y'all know we like to do raffles on game days. Last week we didn't do a raffle. This week we are doing one again. JJ says, sounds like a fanboy to me. JJ, where on anywhere do you see Spencer Rattler fanboy, Spencer Rattler jersey? Do you see anything on here, JJ? Or are you too brain dead to see that? Or are you like Helen Keller? You can't see or can't hear. Just curious, JJ. I want you to let me know. Are you Helen Keller or not? Let me know in the comment section, because if you aren't, you can hear and you can see, and it sounds like you're somebody who just hates people for the sake of hating people. So sounds like you're a fraud. Sounds like you're a loser. Sounds like you're a bum. Sounds like you don't need to be hanging out in my chat. Deuces. Not a Spencer Rattler fan, not a Jake Haener fan, not a Derek Carr fan, not a Tyler Shuck fan. I'm a Saints fan. And if you can't look past an individual player to support your team, get the fuck out of my chat. You're such a loser if you can't do that. We are giving away a mini helmet on Sunday. $5 normally is one ticket, but on Thursdays, double the value. So $5 super chat, Venmo, or Cash App. You get 2 raffle tickets. We're going to be giving away a mini helmet. It's going to either be the white mini helmet or it's going to be a salute to service mini helmet. So be sure to hit the super chat function if you would like to get into the raffle now. Reminder, on game days, the price, $5 is 1 ticket, $10 is 3. Today, $5 is 2 tickets. So if you want to load up some raffle tickets and get some extra entries, I encourage you to go ahead and do that today. Jerry G says the no-show experience continues for Chase, 4-0 being out. The streak continues. Fun fact, Telese Fuaga was a full participant today. Good news there. He will be upgraded on the injury report. That is good news. Jerry G asking, can we trade Chase Young? It's a great question, Jerry. Use #Saints and I'll answer it later on. But I will say, yes, you theoretically could, but I don't understand why somebody would trade for a player who hasn't played yet this season. So that's just kind of my thoughts. But New Orleans Saints did trade for Jalen Polk, who's on season-ending IR. So there you go. Helen Queller, Davion says, Helen Queller is quite inspirational. Even she can see Spencer didn't have a chance last season. Thank you, Davion. Dudes like JJ are just so dumb and so dense in their skulls that they can't look past their hatred of an individual, which is what's wrong with this country. You hate an individual. Get the hell over it. Move on. JJ. Fraud. We'll see you later, bro.
Are we gonna
see you, buddy?
Are we going to address the real elephant in the room?
The real elephant room?
There's people that believe Helen Keller's not real.
Helen Keller was not real.
So, okay, just make sure
Helen Keller was not a real person.
No, I also believe she's not a real person. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
No. Helen Keller did not exist.
Or she
Nobody was blind and deaf in the early 1900s and wrote a book. Are you freaking kidding me?
Made up or a liar.
Helen Keller is either the best liar of all time or was a folktale like
Santa.
I don't even know a good folktale. Who's
like Santa's real, so
yeah.
Santa.
Helen Keller, I think, is in the same category as Santa. At one point, Santa was like a real dude, and it was like the big jolly fella is inspired by a guy that actually existed. But there is no Santa Claus. That is not a person. The idea of Santa is a thing. The idea of Helen Keller is a thing. I don't think Helen Keller actually existed, though. You're really
There's no
sitting
shot.
here telling me that somebody who can't see, can't hear, wrote a book? Are you kidding me?
Was
How
it
did they write a book? How did they write a book? Tell me how they knew letters. Tell me how they knew words. Tell me how they could tell what's going on.
I'm about to say, from what I've heard, she also couldn't even speak. So what does she know what a word sound like?
Exactly. Helen Keller, not real.
What does she sound like?
Helen Keller, not real.
Shout out CTM.
Shout out to CTM. Gonna go ahead and put him on the raffle. Sorry, we are now in the midst of our Helen Keller portion of today's content, which is totally fun.
This is the Helen Keller report.
This is now, yeah, we are now Helen Keller now. Angel, good to see you. Can we trade them, start brand spanking new from Thunder? Who Dat said they want to do that? Can we trade Chase Young? Jerry G, we will answer that question during our mailbag portion. Todd French says Braille. How did she learn Braille? How did she learn Braille? If she can't read what the Braille is supposed to be, if she can't hear what the Braille is supposed to be, how did she learn Braille? I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait. And you could sit here and say she did the sign language in her hand. No, she didn't. How'd she learn the sign language? How'd she learn the alphabet?
Impossible. It didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Prove us wrong.
Happen.
Prove us wrong.
They lied to you in second grade. They lied to you when they said Helen Keller did all these awesome things just because they wanted you to feel a little bit better about yourself. They wanted you to be like, hey, look, sometimes maybe I make a mistake. Maybe I'm a little bit of a goofball.
But at least you're not.
But at least I can. But even despite all that, I can still overcome adversity like Helen Keller did. Guess what? She didn't overcome adversity because she didn't exist.
CTM wants to know, what do we think about
LMAO is a swing out there. Yeah, also the whole, she poured water on, she got water poured on her. How'd she know it was water? How'd she not know it was Gatorade? How'd she not know it was soda? How'd she know what liquid was? You gotta be able to see it or hear somebody explain it. I'm just saying. Just no. CTM, a little off topic, but do you think Oklahoma State made the right decision firing Gundy? Yes, I think Gundy should have. Honestly, isn't Braille based on touch? Yes, but how are you supposed to know what the Braille is? You know, if you can't explain to you, if you can't,
what the dots mean.
Yes, if you can't explain what the dots mean, how do you know what the dots mean? Because she can't see and she can't hear. So how are you going to write out, here's what the Braille means? Or if she can't see, how are you going to explain it to her if she can't hear? Helen Keller is not real. I think Oklahoma State did make a good decision firing Mike Gundy. Honestly, he let his pride get in the way too long in Stillwater. I think he honestly should have just parted ways, agreed to part ways, mutually retire, mutually whatever. I think that should have been what happened last year after the season. Yes, I do think that Oklahoma State made the correct decision. I also want one thing to be recognized. Mike Gundy had a horrible end to his tenure at Stillwater. But if you are a football coach for one team for 20 years, you deserve a statue. You deserve all the recognition in the world. I understand that he didn't end strong, but you either live long enough to see yourself become the villain or you die a hero. So Mike Gundy became the villain, and unfortunately that's going to be the mentality people have about him. But I will say that I don't think that it was a bad decision to fire Gundy. Looked it up. She used touch to learn the alphabet.
It's impossible.
How did she learn the alphabet?
Explain
How
it.
did she know what letter was what? You can't tell her because she didn't know. She can't see it. You can't say, "Hey Helen, read this. This is what this means." Yeah, this is A. This is a B. This is a C. You know what she also can't do? You can't tell her this is an A, this is a B, and this is a C. We might just have to cut all the content and just go full Helen Keller.
Yeah,
we might have to go full Helen
now.
Keller conversation.
Tactile
We might be
sign
okay.
languages. This
we
is
might
the
have
1900s.
Yeah, we might have to change the title, change the thumbnail. It is Saints fans debate the reality of Helen Keller. That might be what we have to do here. I mean, it's what we're doing now. Todd French, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and give you a raffle ticket. You only sent in a 2, so I'll give you one raffle ticket just because I feel like being a nice guy, and you've been kind of hanging out and having some fun with us in the chat. So, there you go. Michael Youngblood says we need the beard back fully.
It's getting close.
It is getting close. I was thinking about doing one more shave, but I also, because I haven't shaved in a minute, what if we do the no shave until we win? What do we think?
How often did you shave when you had the beard fully?
So when I would like fully shave it down, never.
But
So I would trim
counts.
I would trim my beard once or twice a week. I would like clean it up once or twice a week.
Okay.
And it would probably get pretty scruffy pretty quickly if we don't beat the Patriots, it's going to start getting
If we go 0-17, you might be screwed.
We're not going 0-17.
But if we do,
we're not going 0-17.
You have to grow that.
Hey, guess what? Okay, here's the I'll make a deal with everyone. I'll make a deal. Currently sitting at, let's see, on Twitter, 5,600, Instagram, 3,200. So it'll be quicker to get to 6,000 followers. We'll come up with something fun. During the watch party. First thought is, if we get to 1,000 total, I won't shave my beard until we win a game. That's my first thought. If we get to 1,000 total and no shave until we win. I think that could be kind of fun. What just happened?
Bottom of the ninth, Reds are up by 1. Robbed a homer to keep the lead.
Oh,
now with 2
my
outs.
goodness.
Holy fuck. That was...
Oh, goodness. That's
Holy
crazy.
fuck.
That's crazy. Favorite coach says, I'll get a tattoo if we go 0-17. That's pretty funny. Todd French, as long as we beat the Panthers, I will be good. Yeah. Beat the Falcons at home. Beat the Dolphins, beat the Jets, beat the Panthers. Of course, you want to beat the Bucs, but they're going to be a hard team to beat. I think that's a good recipe right there. Friendly reminder, $5 is 2 raffle tickets today because the number goes up. $5 is 1 raffle ticket on game day. We're giving away a mini helmet on Sunday. Not sure if we're going to do the white mini helmet, like the brand new one with the gold face mask that they wore against the Seahawks, or if we're going to be doing the salute to service. We are going to be giving away one of those helmets on game day after the game is done. So if you would like to enter the raffle ahead of time and get a little extra entries, $5 equals 2 raffle tickets today and today only. If you want to try your luck on Sunday, $5 is 1 raffle ticket. So the odds are more in your favor if you get in now. Of course, totally understand if you want to wait till Sunday. That being said, you're not going to get better odds than today. As long as we beat the Panthers, I will be good. There you go. Todd French, ball knower. Your favorite coach, what do you think our odds to beat the Bills are 1 to 100? I would say 12. I'm gonna say about 12.
I'm in the negatives.
I am not feeling good about that game.
The only way it happens, the Bills get raptured.
I think the best chance for the Saints to win is, have y'all ever seen Dark Knight? Y'all know Bane? Yeah, that happens. We're rooting for Bane.
Saints?
Huh?
Wouldn't they kill the Saints too if they're also on the field?
True.
Did we get a whole new team?
If we're lucky, Mickey Loomis is on the field.
I think we need someone get Mickey Loomis sideline passes. ASAP.
That's funny. Alrighty. Let's get into the content. We've been hanging out. We've been beep-bopping around. Make sure you like today's video. Make sure you use #Saints. We're going to start off the video with a preview of this matchup. Saints versus Bills. How New Orleans can shock Buffalo in Week 4. Going to give you some score predictions. Going to go through some stats in this week's matchup. And it's going to be a fun video. So wanted to make sure you guys are informed and ready to roll for game day. Shout out to everyone who's hanging out with us. Yeah, let's party. Let's get right into it. Can we trade Mickey Loomis? The only problem is somebody's going to have – it takes 2 to tango. And I don't think anybody's wanting to tango with Mickey. I would be shocked if somebody wanted to dance with Mick. Oh, my God. Ransom. So we're going to do ransom? Nice. All righty. Brandon Saley says he's disappointed for Chase Young since he's not been able to play yet. He also said that he's been one of the best players through training camp. Interesting. Best abilities availability. Get your ass on the field, Chase. I'm making $17 million. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I get it. Calf injuries can be tricky. I understand that injuries are finicky. I'm not going to sit here and say that they need to rush him back. But, like, we were told this was a minor injury. Is it a minor injury or not? If it isn't, then we need to be told that so the Saints can address it. Just frustrating, you know? Also, shout out to Sean Alexander, former NFL MVP. Him and his wife are expecting their 14th child. Imagine 14 cars and 14 college payments. That's crazy. Look, if I had 14 kids, there would come a point where it's like, all right, some of y'all aren't going to college. Like, we just got to be realistic.
No, if I'm going to have 14 kids, I'm going to have maybe 3 of my own.
One or two of those is going to be a screw job. Just going to be
the first
totally
two.
Honest. 14 kids, one of those will at least be a screw job. You have a couple that'll probably be athletes, get some scholarship money, maybe a couple military, maybe a couple just like, nah, I just want to go straight into work. I don't want to go to college and stuff like that. So, like, there is that, but good Lord. 14
one of them has to be a crackhead.
Huh?
One has to be a crackhead.
Yeah, one of them is probably going to be on the corner.
That would spice up Thanksgiving.
That's true. That's true.
That'd be a fun way.
It would.
Thanksgiving.
It would. Alrighty, let's get after it. Week 4 preview coming up. Tushy for the prize picks for this one. Let me yawn and then I am. I'm tired, guys. Wrong pipe. All right, let's get into it. Oh, God, I just died right there. Holy cow. Sorry. No, I'm not ready. I am not ready. I almost choked on ice. Y'all ever do that? Don't recommend it. All right, now I'm ready. If my eyes look red, if my face looks red, it's because I just almost died. All righty. Lopez. Oh, wait. Injury report just dropped. Wee woo. Want to make sure I tell you guys real quick. Thursday injury report. Guess who didn't participate? Chase Young still not participating.
Woo.
God, I'm so over it.
Honestly, generational bag getter.
Chase Young is just a
Generational bag getter at the very least.
All right, let's party. I have nothing to say about Chase Young. Nothing nice to say, at least. My mom always told me, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. All right, let's get into it. Our Week 4 preview is here, and I'm going to explain how the New Orleans Saints can shock the Buffalo Bills this upcoming Sunday. I'm also going to give you some score predictions with my guy, Loco Lopez. You're watching Saints Now by Chat Sports. As always, I'm your host, Trizzy Trace Girouard. Be sure to hit the thumbs up icon and drop a like on today's video. For this matchup, just going to keep it real with you. I am not looking forward to this game. It's going to be a very rough 4 quarters, in my opinion. The Buffalo Bills, 16.5-point favorites. That is a large point spread. Not totally confident that the New Orleans Saints are going to be able to cover it. If you want the black and gold to shock not just the Bills, but shock the entire world, shock the football landscape, and prove that they are not an absolute travesty of a football franchise, do one thing. Smash the thumbs up icon and like today's video. All right, let's start things off first by going through some stats and kind of comparing the offenses and the defenses. So first, I want to explain how the Saints offense matches up to the Bills defense. You can see on screen the Saints offense not doing well really anywhere in terms of production. I'm not scoring a lot of points, not moving the ball downfield much, not very effective on third down. Top 20 in red zone percentage, but, you know, celebrating top 20 kind of feels like kissing your ex-girlfriend. It's cool, but not really what you want. The points per game for the Bills defense, they do give up a lot of points. They don't give up a lot of yards per game. However, yards per play, they do tend to give up more in that regard. Across the National Football League, they rank 21st through 3 weeks. They're not very good on third down. They're not very good at getting stops in the red zone as well, which is something that I think that the New Orleans Saints need to look to exploit. Now, let's kind of flip the script here and go Saints defense versus Bills offense. You'll see the Bills offense, scores a lot of points. They move the ball downfield a lot. They're really efficient. They're really effective. They're very, very well run. Led by Josh Allen, a really, really good quarterback, one of the best in the National Football League. The Saints defense is going to have a tall task ahead of them. They've given up over 30 points per game up to this point. In yards per game, they're top half of the league, just barely, but they are top half, which is nice. But the Bills, they are the number one offense when it comes to moving the ball downfield. So you can see right here, this is going to be a tough matchup for the New Orleans Saints. Now, how can they shock the Buffalo Bills? I'll tell you, step number one, keep this guy off the field. If Josh Allen is not on the field, Josh Allen cannot gash you. If Josh Allen is not on the field, Josh Allen cannot beat you. If Josh Allen is not on the field, Josh Allen cannot throw for 400 touchdowns or 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. It's just not going to happen. So for the black and gold, the offense in Buffalo is so dang good. Keon Coleman has been really, really good. Their tight end situation has been really impressive. They're effective at rushing the football as well. They need to keep the offense off the field. The Saints defense needs to especially win on third down, and they need to be able to get the Bills offense off the field. And for what it's worth, the Saints offense needs to control the time of possession. They need to be able to have those long, sustained drives where you're punching them in the mouth every play and you're really draining some clock, because if the Saints try to score quick and then try to get on defense and try to hold the Bills' offense back, I don't think they're going to be very successful in that regard. Step number 2, you're going to have to find a way to win on third down. Josh Allen, not only is he an effective passer, he's also a very effective rusher of the football, and it feels like time and time again the New Orleans Saints keep getting beat on third downs because either A, quarterback is mobile and has the ability to get out of there, break the tackle, you're holding on to his jersey, you can run away with it and get the first down with his legs, or, flip the dump off, get the ball downfield type deal. The other thing that feels like it happens all the time is it's not a mobile quarterback and you're sitting there and they have all day to throw, or, they don't have any pressure coming in and they can just deliver the pass with no pressure. So when it comes to third down, you got to win. Not just on the defensive side of the football, but on the offensive side of the football. It kind of goes back to my first point, keeping Josh Allen off the field. The Saints offense needs to win because the Bills defense, just like the Saints defense, really not great on third down. Friendly reminder, the Bills defense this season is 23rd on third down percentage with a 43.2 completion or success rate, I should say. So for Buffalo, they're going to look to try to win on third down because the Saints are so bad on third down. And the Saints, they need to find ways to break their bad habits, turn those into good ones, and get the heck off the field. It's pretty hard to score points when your offense isn't on the field. I'm not saying it's impossible. Saints have done a lot of that thus far. But I'm just saying, it's a lot easier to win if you don't let the opposing quarterback, one of the best players in the league, get on the field. Just going to keep that in mind. Now, we do have some more keys to victory. We also have some score predictions and fun things to discuss here on the channel. But first things first, got to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor, and that is Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in the whole wide world. I absolutely love Prize Picks, and it's my favorite way to get involved on the football action. And I can also turn my ball knowledge and my opinions into some cold, hard cash. One thing about Prize Picks that I absolutely love is that they have the injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks will not count it as a loss. And as a Saints fan, we've seen a lot of injuries settle into this roster, so I can tell you right now that's something that I am really happy about. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into some cold, hard cash. For this game specifically, got a couple lineups, or not a couple lineups, got a lineup and a couple of picks I wanted to share with you. So Juwan Johnson, I'm taking the more on that Goblin pick because it means it's a little bit of an easier thing to hit, but it's a lower payout. Spencer Rattler, I think, is going to have a lot of completions. He throws the football a lot. And if for whatever reason he isn't going to air it downfield, hit the check down a ton of times. But also Josh Allen, like I said, he's one of the best in the league. I think he's going to gash us with his legs. I think third down is not going to go well for the Saints, and this is not going to be a pretty game. But I can tell you right now, at least I'm going to be making money. That's thanks to Prize Picks. You, too, can turn this Saints season into success from misery because we all know how miserable we are. Download the Prize Picks app. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Saints fans, if you use code CLNS when you download the Prize Picks app, you'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Highly encourage you to check out the Prize Picks app today. It's good to be right. Click the link in the comments and description of this video. Now, I want to talk about the offense here for New Orleans because I do think a really important part of this is having Spencer Rattler push the ball downfield. And we've seen a lot of problems for the New Orleans Saints when it comes to Spencer Rattler trying to do that. He just hasn't really been effective as a quarterback when it comes to pushing the ball downfield. He's completed a lot of passes. He has decent yardage. He's protected the football well. But less than 8 yards per target isn't something I'm really jazzed about. So PFF, they can help you, or they have a stat called adjusted completion percentage, which I think is a really interesting number to consider. The adjusted completion percentage is the percent of aimed passes thrown on target with completions and drops aimed. So obviously, Spencer Rattler has seen a lot of drops this season. His adjusted completion percentage this year is 74.3. His regular completion percentage, you see, is 67.2. The average depth of target, not even 8 yards downfield, and it's really, really frustrating because I think about all of the talent on the roster. I think about the weapons you have. I think about the type of play style you should be running with this team. You have so much speed. You have so much athleticism. You have great route runners. Stretch the damn field. Why are we doing all these quick passes? Why are we worrying about all these screens? I understand you got to get the ball in open space to some of these guys, but we also just got to let them run and beat the opposing DB. Let them just be faster than the guy in front of them. That's going to be an advantage. The New Orleans Saints, they don't have size, but they have so much speed. And if you're going to predicate your offense on speed and on route running and being athletic, then do those things. Stop trying to force passes. Stop trying to just hit the checkdowns. Stop being okay with mediocrity. Push the ball downfield. Make this offense more explosive. Appeal to the weapons you have. And for those weapons, complete your assignments and catch the damn ball when you're targeted. We've seen too many dropped passes. We've seen too many instances of sloppy play on the offensive side of the football. I need Spencer Rattler. I need Kellen Moore. I need those two players to have a little bit more confidence. I need those two, or not players, I need those two guys to have more confidence. I need Spencer Rattler to be more willing to throw the deep ball. I need his receivers to get more open. I need Kellen Moore to not be afraid to call the deep shot. It's one of the best things that we can do on this offense. Rashid Shaheed is one of the fastest players in the entire National Football League. Why are you not just sending him deep? I'm not saying that's the only thing he needs to do, but why are you not doing it? Just because a couple of passes got broken up and there was one interception that got called back. I don't care. Throw the ball downfield. That's what this team is supposed to be doing. That's what these weapons should be doing. It's what this offense should be built on. Stretching the field, getting the ball to your playmakers, and letting them work. You do a good job of putting the ball in your playmakers' hands, but you got to stretch the field more often. You also can't play scared. I've kind of made this point a little bit already. Kellen Moore, Spencer Rattler, they play scared football. And I don't want to turn this into a knock Kellen Moore, knock Spencer Rattler session because that's not at all what it is. But I can confidently say Kellen Moore needs to unlock the offense. And for a team right now that's 0-3 that needs to get an honest evaluation of the roster you have and of the quarterback situation you're currently in, you need to be willing to test your offense. You need to be willing to try things out. You need to be willing to put your offense in a position to just go out there and make plays. Unlock the playbook. Open things up. Allow your guys to cook. You have to see what these weapons are capable of doing. And if I'm going to be totally honest, I don't think Chris Olave has done enough for me to confidently say I definitely want him back after his fifth-year option. I also don't think that Rashid Shaheed has been effective enough as a receiver because I don't think he's been given those opportunities to do that. Devon Vele surely hasn't been involved enough. Mason Tipton has gotten no involvement. I'm really tired of the Saints offense just being okay with being okay. What do we have to lose at this point? Like, honest question. What do you have to lose? Going into the season, you are deemed the worst team in football. Going into the season, you were deemed having the worst quarterback in all of the National Football League. What do you have to lose? You're already the worst team. You already have people doubting you. Might as well try to have some fun with it. Might as well try to open things up and shock some people. Like, what do you have? Like, what do you have to lose? You have nothing. This is probably a team that's going to be picking in the top 5 picks. You got to see what you got in this roster. Stop playing scared. If you play scared football, you're not going to do anything. And especially if you have a lead, scared money don't make money. If you play to not lose, you are going to lose. You should be playing to win. Stop being scared. It's not that difficult. Now, complementary football is also a massive, massive key to victory for me. Look, these are a lot of things that the Saints have to do, and these are not easy tasks. Individually, sure. Win on third down, maybe that's something that you could do as an individual thing if that was the only thing you needed to do. Push the ball downfield, if that's all you needed to focus on, sure. Not playing scared, if that's all you needed to focus on, sure. But you have to do all of these things on top of playing complementary football. The New Orleans Saints too many times are finding themselves in a situation where the offense goes and makes a play, the defense can't make a stop. Or the defense gets a stop, the offense then goes 3 and out. Or the offense pushes the ball downfield, stalls out, you go and kick a field goal, Blake Grupe misses. This has been the most uncomplimentary football I've ever watched. It's been disgusting. It's been just downright, like, just sloppy. And you cannot sit here and tell me that the Saints are going to have a chance to win some of these games down the stretch and for the rest of the season, especially against teams that are much, much better and have way better rosters than you, if you don't play clean and complementary football. You cannot convince me that this is a good enough team to go out there and compete with these squads and dig themselves into these holes against much better rosters. Because they don't play complementary football. If you were able to do that, if you were able to play a clean brand, then maybe, just maybe, you would have the opportunity to sneak a few wins away. But I don't think that this roster is good enough. I don't think this team is good enough to just steal wins away from a much, much better team. How did the Browns win against the Packers? They played a complete game. Sure, the offense didn't put up a ton of points, but they did just enough. The defense carried that squad for sure. But the offense does need to get some credit there because they were able to put points on the board, at least drive the ball downfield enough for the Browns special teams unit to have opportunities to put points on the board. The defense was extremely complimentary to the offense in the Browns versus Packers game. We have not seen that yet for the New Orleans Saints. You need 4 quarters of complimentary football because if you slip up in one of those, the Bills are just going to absolutely dismantle you. Get in the comment section, predict the score for me, Who Dat Nation. I want you to let me know what you think the final score is. Me and Lopez are about to give you our score predictions. Going to give you a second to answer. 5, 4, 3. Just push it. We're going. Just kidding. All right, I got the Bills winning 34-14. Lopez, do you care to mic yourself up and explain your case here in a second? I don't think this is going to go well. And I understand why there's some people out there who are going to sit here and say, Trizzy, how dare you pick the Saints to lose? You're a hater. You're not a real fan. You're not loyal. This is clickbait. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a realist. Very realistic. I pride myself in keeping it real with you guys. I pride myself in giving you guys authentic coverage, talking about what I feel and what I think. I think the Saints are going to get their ass kicked. Just don't see a world around it. The Saints are not a good enough team to compete with the Bills, in my opinion. What you got?
I was kind of a little in between. I wasn't going to pick the Saints. I'm not crazy. But I was in between. Is it going to be a really close game where the Bills kind of messed around, played with their food, or is it just going to be pedal to the metal, they're just running up and down the field? And talking to our Dolphins guy, Roley, Bills played Dolphins last week. They were playing with their food. Yeah. This is a get-right game for the Bills.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. The Bills are not going to play with their dinner 2 weeks in a row. No. They messed around too much with the Dolphins. Had a couple close calls there. Ultimately, the Dolphins started playing bad football, which is why they lost. Hence why my fifth or fourth reason to key to victory is complimentary football. Don't play scared. It's why that exists, because we saw what happened when the Dolphins stopped playing complimentary football. Long story short, this Bills team this is a get-right game for them. This is not one that they're necessarily worried about. Maybe they're looking ahead. There's just no, even if they wanted to, I think they're going to dismantle us. I would love to be wrong. Just don't think I will be. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Get in the comment section. Share your thoughts on your score prediction. And if you enjoyed today's content, like the video. We will be live on game day 1 hour before kickoff. So hit the sub button. Turn on your notifications. We're giving away a Saints mini helmet. Hope to see you there. Y'all stay golden. Booyah. Todd. Kendre Miller and Alvin Kamara can run on them, I believe. Shout out to Todd. Todd. Shout out to Todd. Shout out. Brent, Michael, Davion, Saints. Good to see you guys.
Honestly, kind of going off Todd's point, I think best chance if we're somehow going to pull off an upset is not going to be in the run game. We need to attack down the field because the Bills have some trash in the secondary.
Yes, the Bills' secondary is not good.
It is garbage.
So that kind of goes back to my point, push the ball downfield. I wish I would have mentioned that. And there's like
I just thought about it.
I know. I totally.
We haven't talked about that.
I totally forgot that they have a bad.
Their safety
situation there. Michael Morgan, $2. So I'll go ahead and give you one raffle ticket as well. I'm only giving each person that sends in a $2 one just for the sake of like the deal is you get 2 for $5. You send in 1, 2, I'll give you one, but the deal is 2 for $5. So if you want more raffle tickets, just so you know, every $2 that gets sent in isn't another one. It's you got one. If you want more, send in a 5. But Michael and CTM and Todd French, I gave all of you guys some raffle tickets here today. Appreciate you guys for supporting the show. Buffalo hasn't lost at home in 2 years. Is that true? That's crazy.
I don't watch every Bills game, but I know the last one I've seen them lose at home, or at least the last one I remember was that Bengals game, the DeMar Hamlin year in the playoffs. Because that was an ass kicking. I don't remember if they.
Yeah, I think that's the last one I can think of.
Like I said, I'm not tapped into the Bills. And watching
I'm not a Bills guy, but Saints 28, Bills 3 says Saints are going to blow out the Bills. I wonder if this is the same guy who's the Lopez burner or whatever.
Let's see.
It is. I mean, I got to say, it really is impressive how
that guy's dedicated.
How often he's changing his YouTube profile. It really is interesting.
What's the process on that? Because he even changed the ad, too.
I don't know, dude. I really don't know.
I don't know how long that takes.
I don't know. Some people have way too much time on their hands, and
no, I like this guy though.
No, I like him too, but that's not going to take away the fact that you have a lot of time in your hands if you're changing your YouTube profile every other day. Michael says I watch a lot of Bills. You have to play damn near perfect to beat them. Yeah. Look, I even tweeted out the Bills look beatable against the Dolphins whenever they're playing against the Dolphins, and then the Dolphins were like, nah. We're going to keep playing bad football again. That's what we like to do because Mike McDaniel's a fraud. And there you have it. They lost. It says it takes 1 minute. I ain't got 1 minute.
Hey, 1 minute's a long time.
Yeah, I ain't got 60 seconds. I got too much shit on my plate.
1 minute is a long time.
Michael Hyde, thanks for tuning in. Tony to GM, 120 passing yards, 2 interceptions incoming. For who?
Sounds like a Josh Allen stat line.
Is that a Josh Allen stat line? That'd be cool. Austin Galliano says, shout out Trey Palmer. Be jamming. If you're going to lose, at least try to show some effort. I totally agree with you. Totally agree. All right, let's get into some trade rumors.
Remember to get your mailbag questions in using #Saints. So after this segment, we can get rolling with that one. Don't forget.
I just had a funny tweet. I just had a really funny tweet. If anyone wants to go see my tweet, it's really funny. I would like for you guys to see my tweet. It's good. Go retweet my tweet. It's really funny. Chase Young, when Brandon Staley asks him if he's practicing today. Nah, I don't really feel like it. It's just so true, man. Oh, back pop. Oh, didn't get that one. Hip. Oh, there we go. Your boy's popping like he's a Rice Krispie treat. All righty. Ethan, thank you for your retweet. Go retweet this post. Make it go viral. Make Chase Young get back on his fucking off his couch and get him on the field.
One tweet yesterday that was like, maybe the Chase Young is the friends that we made along the way.
Oh, I saw that.
Like, that's funny.
John Sigler tweeted out,
Chase,
the real Chase Young was the friends we made along the way. I was like, that's good. It's a good tweet. It's a good tweet. All righty. Trade rumors. We got to start churning and burn. I'm fucking tired. Yeah, I don't know why you agreed to that. You should say when you start doing that, start saying, ask other people because I'm live today, and if no one else can, then sure. But can you ask others first? That's how you always. Can you ask others first? You could always slack him and say we're dicking around. We're not gonna get up if somebody else can film. Okay. Alrighty. Trade rumors. Gotta stop yawning, man. Gotta stop. Alrighty, let's hop on in. Tushy for this one. Tushy. I got a tushy. Alrighty, let's talk about it. Trade rumors. Tough conversations coming up ahead. Y'all are not going to like this video. I already know it. I already know you guys are going to hate this video. Oh, God, I had one of those, like, half yawns, not quite. This is just, it's been tough. It's been a long week. Lopez and I, it's our Friday. We've been grinding our tails off. We've been coming in to work super early and leaving a little bit later, trying to give you guys better content. So, just bear with us. All right, let's do it. Trade rumors right here, right now. In today's show, we're going to be having a tough conversation around some trade buzz. And it's not necessarily any buzz where there's people talking about these trades. It's more so, look, honest conversation time. The New Orleans Saints are not in a position to be competing for a Super Bowl. In a perfect world, we would not have to trade anybody away. We'd be able to keep all of our legends. We'd go win a Super Bowl. All these guys could retire, and the next time we see them, we'll be in the Ring of Honor. But unfortunately, that is not the reality of the world we live in, and that is not the situation that the New Orleans Saints are currently in, and that is not what Mickey Loomis has built thus far. So unfortunately, we are in the midst of a rebuild, whether or not the team wants to admit it. We are not competing for a Super Bowl this season, so it's time to look ahead. If the New Orleans Saints do make any trades, we got you covered, so be sure to subscribe to Saints Now by Chat Sports. Turn on your notifications because if anything crazy happens, we will be going live on the channel, and of course, we'll be providing content for you, Who Dat Nation. Now, let me make one thing very, very clear here before I start this conversation. I know a lot of you guys are going to hate this video. I know a lot of you guys are going to sit here, say that this is clickbait, say, show me your sources. There is none of that. I'm being upfront and telling you right now, this is not clickbait. This is not me saying there are trade buzz out there. There are people wanting to trade for them. There are acquisitions in the works. That is not happening right now. I do not want to trade these people away. I do not want to lose these legends. But when you are rebuilding, you have to prioritize the future, and you have to be realistic with yourself. The New Orleans Saints have 5 picks in 2026 and 5 picks in 2027. And I think, for what it's worth, most of the guys we're going to talk about today would rather just straight up retire than play somewhere else. But, again, This is a what have you done for me recently league. This is a business, and we got to talk about how we can turn this business into a failing business back into a successful business. Obviously, Taysom Hill is a name to kind of discuss here. We don't necessarily have him listed as a guy to potentially trade because we don't know if he's going to be healthy. And look, I don't think that an unhealthy Taysom Hill is really going to garner much trade interest. I really only think there's one team out there that would straight up trade for Taysom Hill at all, and it's Sean Payton of the Denver Broncos. But if he's not healthy by the time the trade deadline gets here, I think it's going to be really hard to move him. So we're not going to list him as a guy to trade right now. Just wanted to let you guys know that's why he is not listed as a trade candidate. Now let's talk about the first one. Again, this is not a conversation that I'm wanting to have. It's just conversation that we have to have. My job as a YouTuber and my job as a Saints content creator is to talk about all of the things that are going on with my football team. And Alvin Kamara is a player who will be garnering a lot of trade interest, especially as the deadline quickly approaches. And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here, but I'm going to be totally transparent. Us Saints fans, we value Alvin Kamara way more than the rest of the National Football League. Other fan bases, other coaches, other general managers, they are going to look at Alvin Kamara in one way, and us Saints fans are going to look at him in a much, much better light. And that's something to consider. I don't think you're going to get the trade return that you would want. I think best case scenario is a 4th or 5th round pick because he is an older running back, very productive still, very dynamic guy, but he's tied for the lowest rushing yards per carry throughout his career at 3.7 yards per rush. He has an $18.6 million cap hit in 2026. And so for the Saints, you have to have an honest conversation. Is Alvin Kamara a part of this team if we're competing for a Super Bowl in 2 or 3 years? That's the question you have to answer. And I can tell you, I know Alvin Kamara wants to be a Saint for life. He has never shied away from saying he wants to retire the part of the black and gold. He wants to be with this team. He has never, ever, ever shied away from that opinion and that feeling. But again, this is a business. And business is not going well for New Orleans. And you have to find ways to have better business. And is $18.6 million in 2026 really worth it? If it is, awesome. I'm not saying it's not. I just have a hard time sitting here justifying paying that much money to Alvin Kamara, especially for a team that's rebuilding and not even competing to win the division right now. Now, number 2 player on trade these guys, I hate that we're having this conversation. I know that you guys are mad at me already. But again, you got to hear me out on this because I know what I'm saying at least is a little bit correct. Demario Davis, I don't want to trade him. I don't want to get rid of him. It's the same for all of these guys that I'm talking about in this video. But look, he might actually be able to bring you back something valuable in terms of trade compensation. He's still playing at an incredibly elite level. 36 years old, and he is still putting up unbelievable production. 31 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, a fumble recovery. Demario Davis, fun fact, through 3 weeks, is the 2nd highest overall Pro Football Focus grade. And this upcoming year, he will be an unrestricted free agent after this season. So for Demario Davis, maybe before he decides to hit the road and potentially retire, you try to get something in return because Lord knows he needs some extra draft capital. And I want to go back to this PFF point here. I've shared PFF grades before. I've talked about how our players are doing. And people try to tell me I'm, pushing an agenda or something stupid like that. It's on the home page of PFF. You don't have to have a premium subscription to see some of this information, by the way. Demario Davis is the 2nd best linebacker in football. You want to argue with me? The numbers suggest otherwise. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Demario Davis is still playing great. I think that he is a guy who deserves to still be around in New Orleans. But again, you have to think ahead because the Saints are not a team competing for a Super Bowl. They just simply are not. They are not going to win the division. It's not going to happen. That being said, I do think Demario Davis and Cam Jordan and some of those types of players are instrumental in the developing of a culture moving forward. It's one of those things where you feel terrible because they have to sit here and suffer and that Super Bowl window is closed. But they are going to be a part of the story of the New Orleans Saints coming back to success in a few years because of their contributions that they've had in the final portions and final days of their career in the National Football League. I don't want to get rid of them. Might have to, though. It's a crappy situation that the New Orleans Saints have found themselves in. And if you have a crappy situation at home, I'm here to tell you, I got a solution. It's a Tushy Bidet. Guys, A-holes, balloon knots, fart box, stink, wrinkle, leather, Cheerio, cornhole, mud, button are only dirty words. If you wipe, going to give you a little TMI here, but my Tushy Bidet, that thing gets some work. I'm telling you, multiple times, every single day, without fail. It took me absolutely no time to set up. I absolutely love my Tushy, and I got 10% off because I used code CHAT at hellotushy.com. Now, I can tell you right now, stop, drop, plop, and clean up your mess with a Tushy Bidet. Instead of wiping endlessly with toilet paper, Tushy pristinely removes 99% of bacteria while protecting your natural skin barrier thanks to one natural ingredient, fresh water. It's so easy to use. Sit, cleanse, and dry using the built-in air dryer. That's right. Cleaning yourself in the bathroom has now become hands-free. And people have made the switch to Tushy. Use up to 80% less toilet paper. No more clogged toilets. No more wasting money on something that does an inferior cleaning job anyway. So get the Tushy Bidet, the everyday luxury bidet that can help you have better bathroom habits and bottom health for life. If you want to get started and get 10% off your first order, click the link in the comments and description of this video. It's hellotushy.com/chat, or just go to hellotushy.com and use the promo code CHAT. For a limited time, listeners of Saints Now by Chat Sports get 10% off their first bidet order when you use our code CHAT at checkout. It's 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com with promo code CHAT. All that information is in the comments and description of this video, and every Hello Tushy Bidet comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and 12-month warranty. Chris Olave is another player that we have to have a conversation about potentially trading because, look, he is somebody that honestly is a guy you definitely should not just write off as a trade. If there is one person that I'm willing to trade today, it would unfortunately be Chris Olave. I think what you heard me just say is I want to trade Chris Olave. That is not what I want. That's not what I said. I said if I had to trade somebody, he's the one I'm most willing to trade because I believe he is going to get you the best return on, at least in terms of draft picks and in the trade compensation. The Saints did pick up his fifth-year option for the 2026 season. He's looking to earn a very lucrative contract. And I look at the Garrett Wilson deal, and I think that's probably somewhere in that echelon of where Chris Olave would want to get paid. But he's going to need to play a lot better if he wants to earn that kind of money. And it's a fair question to say, is he worth the investment? I mean, you have to consider the injury history. You have to consider the concussions. You have to consider the fact that he really hasn't taken over in the professional football manner yet. And look, I know that he's had 1,000 yards in a season. I understand that his injury concerns and injury history has been the main issue. But look, Chris Olave has also been given opportunities. He's first in targets. He's fourth in catches. You should be doing much, much better in terms of production. If you are number 1 in targets and number 4 in catches, you should at least be top 10 in receiving yards. Is that fair to say? Is that an absolutely outlandish thing to say? I don't think so. I don't think it's crazy to sit here and say you're top 5 in targets and receptions. You're getting a lot of opportunities. Haven't found the end zone once. I've only had 165 yards. Like, that's just not going to cut it. It's not going to do enough for me. And I love Chris Olave. I'm a huge fan of his. I want him to work out in New Orleans. Hell, I just bought a gold Chris Olave jersey, so if we do trade him away, I just lost $120. But again, Olave is probably the highest trade value. And if you don't want to pay him all that money, you want to reset the clock on having to pay a wide receiver a ton of cash, You could look to trade him, give some money to Rashid Shaheed, and draft a wide receiver early this year and potentially prioritize adding one in free agency. Kansas City, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, Indianapolis even, New England, the Jets. Those are all teams that I could see being interested in adding a wide receiver. And not to mention, the Saints also traded for wide receiver Jalen Polk, who will be available next year. I'm not saying Olave is better than Polk, because that isn't at all the case. But you have a lot of speed. You have a lot of route runners. You need some size, and you need somebody who's going to be an alpha. And unless Chris Olave steps up and becomes an alpha, you might really want to consider trading him because you could get some good return. Now, if you had to pick one to trade, I don't want to. I hate that I'm asking you this. Which one would you rather trade away? I am going to say Chris Olave because I think you can get much more in return for him, and I think it's much easier to replace that wide receiver than it is to replace what Alvin Kamara means to the offense and the fact that he literally is the pulse of the offense. Get in the comment section. If you had to trade one, let me know in the live chat. 42% say Chris Olave, 23% say Alvin Kamara, 14%. I asked it was a four-person one. Demario Davis, which we've talked about. And the last one, the last name on this list, 22%, Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan, according to the subscribers here at Saints Now by Chat Sports in our live chat on Thursday, September 25th, 177 votes. 22% say Cam Jordan is the guy that they would rather trade over anyone else. And look, again, it's business. I don't want to do it. I don't want to get rid of Cam Jordan. But I think that his experience is extremely valuable. I think for a Super Bowl contender, you could look at the player he is and look at the leadership that he has and think that that definitely could be excellent to add to your roster for a run. And I will say I think that Demario, Alvin, and Cam all deserve an opportunity to go chase a ring if they want to. Cam signed a one-year contract this offseason. Looks like he isn't going to be playing too much more football after this year. He's already got 1.5 sacks. He's batted down 1 pass at line of scrimmage, 8 tackles, 3 for a loss. I don't want to trade Cam Jordan. I would hate to do it. It would actually make me so upset if Cam Jordan got traded because I don't think that the trade value you would get for Cam would justify moving off that kind of player. He's been a Saint for life. He is one of those guys that has been very adamant on wanting to be around New Orleans forever. It's the same thing with Alvin Kamara. Business is business, though, and you have to have an honest conversation because if he wants an opportunity to go and chase a ring, and last year, don't forget, he got really fed up with the situation thanks to Todd Grantham, who just got Mike Gundy fired, by the way. He got really fed up with that situation and almost wanted to trade out. I think if Cam Jordan decides, I've done my due diligence, I've done my time here in New Orleans, I want a ring, you should grant it. You should do right by the player and grant that trade. Again, I don't want to, but if he wants an opportunity to go win a ring, Cam's deserved it, and he should. Super Bowl window's closed for New Orleans, which sucks. You had your opportunity in 2019. You had your opportunity in 2017, 18, 19, 20. I mean, just like every year. It just sucks. But I love Cam Jordan. No matter what happens with him, he is one of my favorite players to ever rock the fleur-de-lis, one of my favorite players to ever put on the black and gold. And I just want to take a quick second, and I want us all to rally around Cam Jordan. I want us to give him some love because I think he's a future Ring of Honor member. I think he's a guy that deserves to be discussed as a Saints legend. And he's somebody who, in my opinion, will forever go down as one of the best defensive ends and one of the best defensive players to ever play football. It's a beautiful sport. It's a beautiful game, and I think Cam Jordan's one of the best to ever do it. So get in the comment section. Levels. Type those levels. Other names to consider trading. Again, I'm not advocating saying that you should, but Spencer Rattler playing some good football. If teams are like, we need a backup, or their court starter gets hurt, and they're like, we just need somebody, we can throw a cheap deal to the Saints, get Spencer Rattler. Maybe that's something to consider because you could give Tyler Shuck an opportunity to start. You also need to see what happens with theirs, so maybe that is worth doing. Rashid Shaheed, similar conversation to Chris Olave. He's going to want to get some money. You're going to need to pay him at some point. Maybe you can get something valuable in a trade return. Carl Granderson also is a name that has been floated out there. I've seen online a few times. I wouldn't hate trading him away. For what it's worth, I'd rather trade him than Cam Jordan, but Cam Jordan, I think, is just the more valuable player to the roster. Carl Granderson probably gets better trade compensation. Chase Young, I would love to trade him away considering he refuses to play due to a calf injury. But not every team is like the Saints and likes trading for guys who are hurt. So, it would be cool for the other 31 rosters to do stupid things like the Saints do. Pete Werner, Alante Taylor, a couple other guys that could potentially be a guy to trade away if you want to continue to build out your roster for the future. These are all names to consider. I'm not advocating that any of them need to be gone, but once again, the Saints are in a position where they are in a rebuild. They do not have the luxury of holding on to these players forever and ever and ever and competing for a Super Bowl. You have 5 picks going into the draft next year, and if you want an opportunity to really reset this team and try to do this rebuild right and fast-track it, you're going to need more opportunities and more draft picks, and you're going to need a hit on them. And the New Orleans Saints don't have a high hit rate, so in my opinion, you're going to want more draft picks. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hate that we had to have this conversation. My name is Trizzy Trace Girouard. Y'all stay golden. And hopefully we don't trade any of these guys away. And we'll see you next time. Booyah. That one sucked. I didn't like talking about that one. It was a sad video. It was sad. Some more crazy said that's damn near the hold team. So 11 players. There's 11 on the offense, 11 on the defense. So 11 total players mentioned. 5 actually discussed. Actually, it was 12 because we mentioned Taysom Hill. So it wasn't damn near the hold team, but it was a considerable amount of players. Look, you have a lot of guys that you need to get rid of, and you have a lot of money you need to clear up, and you have a lot of things you got to fix. So don't know what to tell you. Again, I knew you guys weren't going to like it. You weren't supposed to. It was supposed to get you fired up. Mac and G. Who's Alante? Who's Alante? We don't have a player named Alante. I don't know who Alante is. If mediocre was a team. Yeah, no. Yeah, we're mediocrity personified.
Guess
but
what?
Who's
we
Alante?
know we're bad.
But I'm just confused who Alante is.
We know
I've never heard of an Alante. That's not a player. Huh. Look, I'm not going to have a conversation about cutting or trading people if we can't get their names right. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. J Dog saying Alante, or saying Taylor. Alante Taylor, as in Bond. James Bond. Yeah, I knew it was Alante Taylor. It was just more of a... It was a joke. What about Chris Olave for Terry McLaurin? Mike, ask that question. Use hashtag Saints.
Here's the answer. The Commanders would spit in our face.
Yeah, the Commanders' ownership would hawk Tua in Gail Benson's face.
Like I saw someone say, like, Olave a third and a fourth for Malik Neighbors.
Malik Neighbors is the definition. Like, look, Malik Neighbors, I 1,000% to my core believe, would rather have a 2,000-yard receiving season than a Super Bowl ring. I think he'd much rather get 2,000 yards than have a Super Bowl. Like, I do. I think Malik Neighbors is one of the best receivers out there. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a freaking dog. But, man, he is not somebody that I think would be a good fit in the locker room. That being said, Louisiana guy would be pretty cool to have him back. I just kind of like... Is
it him, or did the Giants break him?
That's fair to say. I mean, being in New York, you're in New York spotlight.
I saw a stat earlier that was like he's going into game 19 on Sunday. This is 6 different starting quarterback.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely a thing. I just am like also kind of a believer that Malik Neighbors, I would be all in bringing him in if we didn't have Chris Olave. but Malik Neighbors isn't different enough of a receiver to have as well as Chris Olave, if that makes sense. I also just like don't get me wrong, I would love to have a player have 2,000 yards in this season. That'd be sick. But I also can sit here and say I also want people who want to work as a team, you know? Like, I don't think Malik Neighbors is a bad player. That could not be further from the truth. I kind of get nervous when it comes to like bringing in those diva type players. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It just makes me a little nervous.
I think the one like saving grace that I want to have in my mind right now for Malik Neighbors is, what if he was in like a winning organization, a winning environment?
Yeah.
If he was the New York Giants.
Yeah, like for what it's worth, like I don't think it's a bad mentality for him to have in New York, because the Giants will never are not anywhere close to competing for a Super Bowl. They're one of the worst teams in football. They're going to be firing their head coach soon.
Yeah.
Same with the Dolphins. But like, if they were a part of a winning culture, like, if you're not going to be chasing rings, you might as well chasing checks. Like,
yeah, might as well get good stats.
Might as well get some good money while you're there. If you're not going to be winning meaningful football games, might as well win some cheddar. Like, I don't think it's a bad mentality for him to have in New York, because it is a loser culture up there, but just kind of tough, you know?
I would want to see him in a different locker room before I'm like, this guy is the problem.
I would love to see him in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Put him on Buffalo's roster. Give Malik Neighbors to Josh Allen and just see what happens.
Yeah. Give him a stable
Surely
team.
It could go well.
Give him a stable team.
Yeah, give him a team with some stability. It doesn't even have to be an excellent organization. Stability. I think that's a great way to put it. Give him a stable team. All right, if you guys have a question or a hot take, use hashtag Saints. Better yet, send in a super chat. Friendly reminder, $5 super chat is 2 raffle tickets for a mini Saints helmet. If you want to wait till Sunday, that's fine, but it's only going to be 1 ticket for $5. So if you want extra entries, $5 is 2 tickets today and today only. We're going to be signing off here shortly. So if you're trying to wait until we're almost done, this is that time. We are almost done with the live show. And then we're going to be out of here very shortly after. So got a question or a hot take, use hashtag Saints, send in a super chat, and we'll get you on the show. Our software will not recognize your comment if you don't include hashtag Saints at least. So just want to let you guys know, if you do at Saints now, doesn't matter. Has to be hashtag Saints. Reaper, appreciate you, brother. Thank you. J-Dog, we'll get you on the mailbag as well. We're also going to talk about trading Russell Wilson, because that Saints have been linked. It's a great one. CTM will answer your Super Jack question in the mailbag.
I forgot who it was, but someone also had a good hashtag Saints question that I will make sure gets in, because it's something that we talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. Joshua Hunter, that's who it is.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to see.
Shout out Mad Drummer for the $2 or the $5 super chat. So give him 2 tickets. He's saying we just here as a fan base.
Mad Drummer.
He's not wrong. We're just here. We're watching it all unfold.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Exactly. That's all it is at this point. Some more crazy.
Mad Drummer.
Saints that question.
You got 2 raffle tickets, brother. Can we start Devon Bailey? Fun fact, Devon Bailey did start 2 weeks ago against the Niners. He was on the team as a starter. So he already has been starting some more crazy. Zach, no, Rattler was not benched. Stop blaming him.
What did I miss? I think it had to be someone else.
Had to be a chat.
Because he
nobody
said
mentioned
somewhere else that Rattler.
Nobody said benching Rattler. Oh, Reaper JC. Did they bench Rattler yet? No, they haven't. Kellen did not say he was going to bench Rattler. Reaper, I can assure you, I am tapped into everything that Kellen Moore has said in the last 48 hours. Last 3 months, actually. If you could give me specifically when he said that he would bench Rattler, I will personally Venmo you $100 right now. If you can give me exactly where he said that, I will give you $100 because he never said that. He actually, in fact, said, we're not going to do the back and forth game. Spencer's their quarterback for this year. So
does he owe you $100?
Jerry, I also am going to kind of argue your point here. Stop blaming Spencer Rattler. Yeah, I do agree. Spencer Rattler doesn't need to get as much blame as he has been receiving. I don't think he has received that much blame. I think the people you see blaming him are just like dudes on Twitter comments and YouTube comments. Like, if that's where you're interacting, I get it. But I don't think that Spencer Rattler has been getting an unfair amount of blame. I mean, it's been very acknowledged that he hasn't been the issue. And I don't think that he's been getting a ton of blame outside of like the fan base who just for some reason hates Rattler. Because for some reason there are. On NFL at 2 a.m., not on anything. Okay, whatever. All right. You can't blame Rattler because of the piss poor O-line. I think the O-line has been a problem. Rattler hasn't. Let me make it very, very clear here. Yes, Rattler is not the one to blame. But Rattler is not blameless. There's a difference when saying it is all Spencer Rattler's fault. That is one statement. A completely different one is saying Spencer Rattler hasn't been good enough. Because he hasn't. He's been throwing balls off target. He's been throwing balls high, behind, in front. He hasn't been amazing. He hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't been amazing. If you want to blame someone, blame the O-line. I wouldn't even blame. No. Not blaming anyone. I'm blaming the whole team. It is not one unit's fault. And if you think this is a one person is to blame or one spot on the roster is to blame, I don't know how to tell you. Expand your mind a little bit. This is not a fix one thing and life is good. This is you have a lot of problems to fix here. And it is a multi-year fix. It is, for the big one is the roster just quite frankly sucks. Just not a good enough roster. You have playmakers. That's true. But you do not have a good enough roster to compete. Can I get a birthday shout out for my daughter? She turned 6 today. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mad Drummer's daughter. Happy 6th birthday to you. Shout out to Mad Drummer's daughter. 6th birthday. Hope you have a wonderful day. Mac and G says Kool-Aid is our worst player. My brother in Christ, have you ever heard of Isaac Yadam? Or do you just like saying stupid shit in YouTube comments? Because if that's your thing, that's cool. Just know you are not getting acknowledged after this. If you're just a troll and that's kind of like what you do, cool. I'm not really going to be talking to you much though. So just know that. I'll let you do what you want with that info. So why is your profile a parlay that clearly lost? His profile picture is one of his parlays, and he lost it. I think. It's a Drew Holiday over. Oh, no, that one hit. I can't really see the whole thing. It's not letting me pull up his whole thing. I wish I could see his whole picture so I could see the bet and see if we won. Yeah. Mac and G, have you ever heard of Isaac Yadam, my friend? Have you ever heard of Blake Groupie? Let's party. Let's get into the mailbag. I'm tired of I'm just done with this. Let's get into the mailbag. Hashtag Saints, send a super chat. Make sure you are getting involved in the comments, in the description. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Blah, 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 blah. All that good stuff. Alrighty. Mailbag coming up. First things first, we need to have a conversation about... Oh, looky there. Huh. Video this morning. It's now a 9 of 10 instead of a 10 of 10. Winner. That's a win. It was the draft targets video. All right, let's have a conversation. Rumors coming at you. I'm ready whenever you are. Cool. All right, let's answer some questions. Yeah, we're all frustrated. Peace and purpose. Welcome to this is life in a rebuild. A lot of y'all were saying, "Can we please just blow it up and rebuild? Can we please do it? Can we please rebuild?" Here we are. Fucking sucks, doesn't it? It's horrible. It's dog shit. I hate it. Welcome to it. You guys wanted it. Now we're here. Not fun, is it? All right. Mailbag rumors starting whenever Lopez is ready. For today's video, we are going to discuss some rumors. We got some quarterback trade buzz. I'm going to be reacting to some Russell Wilson to New Orleans talk. I know, absolutely ridiculous. And on the back half of the video, we're going to do a live Q&A with the Golden Gang. We go live every Monday and every Thursday at 3 p.m. Central Time. My subscribers have questions, and me and Lopez have answers. And I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 100K. And if you haven't already, and you're a diehard Saints fan, hit the sub button for 100% free content by Saints fans for Saints fans. Now let's talk about Russell Wilson being linked to New Orleans. I'm going to go ahead and shut every one of you up who is already commenting, "Listen, this is clickbait, blah, 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 blah." I'm going to go ahead and silence all of this. This is not my idea. I am not saying I want to do this, and I actually think this would be a horrible thing to do. But Bleacher Report recently published an article after Jackson Dart was named the starting quarterback for the Giants. And they listed 3 teams that Russell Wilson could land at after being benched. The 3 teams from Bleacher Report are as follows. The Cincinnati Bengals, which I actually think might make some sense if they want to try to keep their season alive with Joe Burrow being hurt. I think that actually could help out in Cincy. Miami, I don't think it makes a ton of sense. I think they just need to kind of blow it up, move on from Tua, fire their head coach and Mike McDaniel, and just kind of move forward. And the New Orleans Saints, I'm going to spend the next few minutes explaining why I think it would be an absolutely atrocious idea. This is what Bleacher Report suggested. It's time to share what they had to say, and that is the source of today's video. It is Bleacher Report, so if you're sitting here saying, "Where's the sources? This is clickbait, blah, 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 blah." Yeah, I've been seeing your comments. Learn the difference between clickbait and I'm talking about what's going on to my team. Now, Bleacher Report did have to say this. Rattler hasn't performed badly. Through 3 games, he has 639 passing yards and a 67.2% completion rate, along with 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. But it's somewhat telling New Orleans is 0-9 with him as a starter. I want to kind of put an asterisk there because I really think it's more 0-6 or 0-3. That 0-6 start last year, I really don't fault him too much because that situation was just absolutely terrible. But continuing here, opening the season with Tyler Shuck as the backup leads one to believe the second-round pick wouldn't be any better. Why not take a flyer on Wilson? Well, I'll give you an answer, Bleacher Report. Because trading for Russell Wilson would quite literally do nothing. It would not help the New Orleans Saints in any form or any fashion. This is not a season that the Saints are competing for a Super Bowl. This is not a season where bringing in a veteran quarterback in the middle of the year would make much sense. Had you wanted to bring in a veteran quarterback, the Saints would have already done that by now. And I do know they view their coaching staff in Scott Tolzien, Doug Nussmeier, and Kellen Moore, they view that as the veteran quarterback presence. And if you were to bring in Russell Wilson, I have no desire to trade for him. You should be looking to get younger. You should be looking to get cheaper. You should be focusing on developing your talent. You should not be giving up draft picks for Russell Wilson. You're a rebuilding team. Have a little bit of awareness and don't trade for him. I don't think the Saints will. I am simply responding to the trade idea presented by Bleacher Report. I think it's a terrible idea for the Saints to explore. I'm not even going to ask you, would you do it? I'm going to ask you, is the answer no or is the answer hell no? My answer is a resounding hell no. I want nothing to do with Russell Wilson. It would make no sense at all from a financial standpoint. It would make no sense at all from a trade compensation standpoint. It would make no sense at all from a roster standpoint. It would be so dang stupid to trade for Russell Wilson if you're the New Orleans Saints. I could not advocate for anything more than avoiding this trade. Now, we got some questions and answers coming your way here in just one moment. But first things first, got to tell you about today's presenting sponsor, and that is the #1 daily fantasy sports app across the entire globe. And ladies and gentlemen, that is Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every single day. But on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. I tell my girlfriend all the time, Maddie, you're always right. Why don't we turn your knowledge into some cold, hard cash so we can move out of our 700 square foot apartment? She says, Trizzy, it's probably a good idea. So I'm going to download the Prize Picks app. I'm going to use that code CLNS. And Maddie got $50 in lineups after she played her first $5 lineup. And guess what, Who Dat Nation? So can you. And if you want an example of what Prize Picks is or how it works, here's kind of how it goes. You just pick a few of your different players, 2 to 6 players. You see their stat projections. You pick more or less on those numbers. And if you get them right, guess what? You got some money coming your way. PrizePicks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. They also offer Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this season. And for what it's worth, one of the coolest things about PrizePicks, in my opinion, is the injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, PrizePicks won't count it as a loss. So download the PrizePicks app, use code CLNS, and get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Shout out to PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. All that information is in the comments and description of this video. Now, first question in coming from CTM. He's asking any updates on Asante Samuel Jr. Now, we all know that Asante Samuel Jr. had to undergo neck surgery a while back. In terms of updates, the latest update, which is crazy to say, came back in August 26th from Jeremy Fowler. He said an update on Asante Samuel Jr. He's scheduled to undergo a CT scan in October to ensure successful spinal fusion. At that point, he will look to sign with the team for the second half of the year. Several teams have kept in touch. So the New Orleans Saints, in my opinion, at the time of that report, remember August 26th, before the season started, I think that they were one of those teams that's keeping in touch because of the ties to Brandon Staley's defense. That being said, and there's obviously a need for cornerback. That all being said, when it comes to the second half of the season, I don't think the New Orleans Saints are going to be in consideration for Asante Samuel Jr. because I could imagine he wants to go somewhere where he's going to be able to compete for a Super Bowl. And on top of that, if I'm the Saints in the second half of the season, I have a really bad record, not really looking to pay the #1 free agent to come in and try to help. Doesn't make a ton of sense. So the latest updates, spinal CT scan in October to ensure successful spinal fusion. At that point, he will look to sign with a team in the second half of the season. So there you go. Jerry G asking, can we trade Chase Young? Jerry, let me answer this question in one moment. But first things first, this isn't clickbait. You can't call it clickbait. You put the question in there, brother. All righty, Jerry, I've seen your comments. One of them was like, Clutch Point said that we're trading him to the Niners. Your video's clickbait. This is Chat Sports. This is not Clutch Points. I love you, Jerry, but come on, man. Can we trade Chase Young? I mean, you could if you wanted to. So financially, in 2025, if he was a post-June 1 trade, you would save $1.16 million in 2025. In 2026, you would have $20.4 million at dead money. Doesn't make a lot of sense to do that, does it? So financially, it really doesn't make much sense. However, I also can say I don't think that we need to look to trade him because who's going to trade for an injured Chase Young? Just don't think it makes a ton of sense. The best thing that we could do for Chase Young is hope he gets on the field sooner rather than later. Joshua Hunter. Jerry, quit complaining in the comments, bro. I see you in the live chat. Quit complaining. Trace, should the Saints draft a tight end, Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon? Look, I would love to draft a tight end, and my guy, Loco Lopez, clap it up for him. Everyone type Who Dat Lopez because we put out a video earlier today, and he went ahead and had these graphics ready to go. I put 5 tight ends to keep your eyes on. I put this graphic together for a draft targets, a way too early draft targets video. Max Clare, Kenyon Sadiq, Eli Stowers, Jack Endries, Oscar Delp, all really good options. So for Kenyon Sadiq, just to kind of talk a little bit more about him and what he's capable of doing. 6'3", 245 pounds, 9 catches, 155 yards for the Oregon Ducks, 3 touchdowns, over 17 yards per grab. I think it would be a good addition, and I think that the Saints definitely need to get more out of the tight end room. And I am a Juwan Johnson fan, but I am here to tell you he has not been good enough. So you should always be looking to upgrade at that position. Does not matter what contracts were signed just a couple of months ago. You always should be looking to upgrade your roster, especially at the draft and especially in the off seasons when you have an opportunity to really shake some things up. Peace and purpose. What's going on, brother? Any quarterback would be bad in this situation. Am I wrong? I'm not going to sit here and say if Tom Brady came in and played, he would win us a Super Bowl. I'm not exactly going to sit here and say that Drew Brees could come back out of retirement and win us a Super Bowl. I don't think you're totally wrong. Any quarterback would be bad in this situation. I mean, the O-line hasn't been amazing. The receivers and the tight ends keep dropping passes, and the defense gives up a lot of points. I don't think that this is an outlandish take. It's a pretty good hot take here. Lopez, what are your thoughts?
I don't even think it's that hot of a take. It kind of reminds me of like those early 2010 Saints teams where Drew Brees is lighting everybody up, but the defense sucked and the offensive line sucked.
Yeah, the
we're seeing that right now.
Offense is scoring 30 points a game, but the defense giving up 32.
So this is kind of what it reminds me of. Like, you have a Hall of Fame quarterback, you still sucked. Guess what? We don't have a Hall of Fame quarterback.
And we suck.
Our offensive line sucks. Defense isn't great.
Yeah,
Shocker, we suck.
Yeah, I don't think that this team is a quarterback away from competing for anything. You need to address the interior offensive line. You need to get better in the rushing attack. I love Alvin Kamara, but you need to get better in that regard. You need to get better receiving threats. You need to get better tight end situation. And the defense also has to be better. Like, moving away from offense, the defense needs to play more complementary football. So, no, I don't think you're very wrong at all, Peace and Purpose. Thank you for your take there. All righty, J-Dog, what do you think about a 4th from KC for Kamara?
A 4th is not what I was expecting. I would take a 4th.
I would do it. I was gonna wait. I would do it. I would 100% do it. 4th round pick, I'm taking it. You don't have a 4th rounder. You traded it away. I would 100% take a 4th round pick for Alvin Kamara right now. He's a 30-plus-year-old, 30-year-old, 30-plus, 30, 29, 30? He's 30s. Yeah, he's just turned 30. 30-year-old quarterback, or 30-year-old running back. I would 100% take a 4th round pick for Alvin Kamara. I don't want to trade Alvin Kamara, but that teeters on the line of offer you can't refuse, and I don't hate that offer. 5th round pick, 6th round pick, absolutely not. 7th round pick, no. 5th round pick, probably not. 4th round pick is where I start being like, okay, no, I'm listening. Now I'm willing to listen and have a conversation. Also, I will say this. If Alvin Kamara wants an opportunity to compete for a Super Bowl, you should give him that opportunity. The devil. Satan. What up, Mickey? How much longer are we stuck with Mickey? Fire Loomis now. This is kind of a tough one. Because if the New Orleans Saints are firing Mickey Loomis, it's because things didn't go well with Kellen Moore. And how long are we giving Kellen Moore to prove himself? I think Kellen Moore deserves at least 3 years. I find it really hard to believe a general manager would take over a team and just keep the same coaching staff in place. Like, I find that very hard to see happening unless it's an extenuating circumstance here. I think that you at least have a couple more years with him. I think as long as Kellen Moore's the head coach, Mickey Loomis is probably the GM. I don't like it, but hopefully one day we kind of enter that, look, I just want to be more of an advisor role, and Kai Harley can just be the guy. Like, I'm tired of old-ass Mickey calling the shots. We need somebody young and fresh getting in there and kind of running the show here. Now, if you want to fire Mickey Loomis, guess what? I made a petition. You guys are going to absolutely love this. If you want your name to get added, so we have the name, we have the address, we have the signature. You can add your signature right here. I'm not going to ask for your address. That's weird. Don't put your address in the YouTube comment section. Just going to go ahead and tell you not to do that. But I will tell you, if you want your signature on the petition, type me, and I will add your name to the petition to fire Mickey Loomis. You can see it right here. Contact number, 1-800-FIRE-LOOMIS. Petition designer, Saints Now. Date, this season. So be sure to comment me. I see Jam, Reaper JC, Peace, Mac NG, Zach Wynn, all typing it in the live chat. And I can't wait to see every single one of you type it in the comments as well. Thank you guys for rocking and rolling with us in today's video. We got to talk about some Russell Wilson trade rumors. I think it would be a horrible idea to do that. Just to kind of recap, Bleacher Report suggested and listed the Saints as a destination and as a landing spot for Russell Wilson. I think it makes no sense. I think it would be stupid, and I think Bleacher Report needs to stop putting out that kind of content, or at least do some research beforehand, because why the hell would the Saints ever do that? They're in a rebuild. So get in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe, like this video, turn on your noties, and y'all stay golden. See you next time. Woo! Woo! Weekend, 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 weekend. All righty. I'm going to set a 2-minute timer. Here's the dealio. Here is the dealio. If we get a $20 super chat in the next 2 minutes, beer shotgun to get the weekend started, and I'll give you 10 raffle tickets. Did you hear that? 10 raffle tickets for $20, and I will do a beer shotgun to get this party started, because it is the time for the weekend. Great college football slate.
Oh, I'm ready.
Lopez, before we sign off, 2-minute timer starting now, because I forgot to do that. 2 minutes, $20, we stay live, and we do a beer shotgun, all that good stuff. Lopez, which games are you looking forward to college football-wise?
Ooh, college football-wise, starting my Saturday. I don't know who plays the 11 o'clock. Is that the Notre Dame?
Notre Dame, Arkansas is in the morning slate, which I think will be a fun matchup. Obviously, the Saints have been bad. My Arkansas Razorbacks have also been bad. I'm a miserable football fan. That being said, the Saints, Arkansas is always good for one weird win at home. And Sam Pittman coaching for his life right now, I feel like this is the one you get at home. Who knows? We're always good for one weird win. Last year was Tennessee. A few years ago, it was Texas. A few years before that, first SEC win against Mississippi State. How did Auburn? Like, there's a bunch of weird ones. Do y'all think OU beats Texas? If John Mateer is healthy, yes, but doesn't sound like he is, so I think that'll be a little tough.
It's crazy to think that game is like 2 weeks out, and that's all I feel like I've heard in the office.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Red River rivalry discussion. It doesn't help that we sit across from a Longhorn fan and next to a Sooner fan. So it does get amplified a little bit, I feel like. But that all being said, you guys got 30 seconds remaining to send in a $20 super chat to get 10 raffle tickets and a beer shotgun. Otherwise, $5 is 2 raffle tickets and no beer shotgun. Last chance to get your raffle tickets before Sunday. The price goes up on Sunday. It'll be $5 for 1 ticket, $10 for 3. Today it's $5 for 2 or $20 for 10. Pretty good dollar value right there if you ask me. So be sure to get your raffle tickets. I'm going to give you a 10-second countdown because we're approaching the end of the show. 10, 9, 8, 7. Ooh. Austin! All right, let me give you your 10. 1. Hold on. It copied wrong. 1, 2. Fudge. Copied wrong again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, guess what? 11! Damn. 11! I gave you a bonus because Austin was the only one to take advantage. Austin, shout out to you. Lopez, we don't have a beer over here, do we?
We do not.
Would you mind? Wait, hold on. Let me just open the door here. We're good. We don't have to do anything crazy here.
Oh, I was going to say keep the headset on. I thought you were going to keep the headset on, like, just scream, Happy Dad!
Where did Happy Dad? Austin, 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 Austin. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. All righty. Austin, you're a legend. Thank you for taking advantage of the deal today. Austin.
Austin wants to know, would you trade Chris Olave a third and a fourth for Malik Neighbors?
Would I trade Chris Olave a third and a fourth for Malik Neighbors? Austin, by the way, I got to say, in your profile picture, your fit is absolutely fresh, bro. I'm looking at it right now. Not to be weird, but, like, I'm looking at the fit. You're dripped out, bro. You're dripped out. That's sick. When I trade Olave a third and a fourth for Malik, I know I spent a few minutes talking about how I think he's a selfish player, but I would 1,000% do that.
There's one problem.
You don't have a fourth round pick. You don't have a fourth round pick to give. That's the problem with this one, Austin. I would be so down, but you just don't have a fourth, unfortunately.
If we were to do that, I feel like that solidifies first round pick has to be quarterback.
Yeah,
you have the weapon for him.
I agree. I agree with you. Let's see if I still got it.
Hell yeah, they teach it at Arkansas.
Woo! Do you have a key?
Yeah.
Okay, because I popped it. I just can't. I bit the hole. I didn't put a hole in it. I put like a little crack in it, and it didn't. I can't get the giggity. I can't get the hole to be bigger. There we go. I also, full transparency, there was one time I did do the whole you bite it and you like clear it out with your finger, and I cut the hell out of my thumb, and it was one of those like it hurt for multiple days, and I like just was miserable for a while. So like. After that happened, I was never the same when it came to, like, shotgunning beers. Dude, it, like, literally was one of those, like, it would not, it just wouldn't stop bleeding. Like, no matter how long I wrapped it. I remember walking around with a party with, like, a bunch of paper towels wrapped around my thumb, and, like, every 10 minutes, I would go get a new beer, and I would re-wrap it up with new paper towels. It was a joke. Alrighty, Austin. Cheers to you, bro. Happy Thirsty Thursday. The weekend is cha.
There you go. That's a good one. Ooh. Bang.
Thought I cut my lip. That was a cold one. That was a cold one. John Scheffler. Is 0-17 on the table? Maybe. Look, I don't think the Saints are going to go 0-17. I'm really trying to, like, quietly burp these out, and it's not going well.
Take the headset off for, like, a second. Just let one
I know. It's like, I think I need to, but, like, as soon as I was like, all right, just do it.
Oh.
It's, like, all gone now. It sucks. It blows. I'm, like, burping up foam. No. 0-7. I mean, yes, technically it's on the table because they haven't won yet. But you play the Titans, play the Jets, you play the Dolphins, you play the Panthers, you play the Falcons. All of those are winnable games. You play the Giants, winnable game. You play the Patriots, winnable game. By no means am I saying we're going to go off and win win 10 games. I don't think that's going to happen, but 2 or 3 of those, sure. Why not? Why not? All righty. We're going to do 60 seconds. If we get any more super chats, we stay live. If not, we sign off. No big deal whatsoever. Stream Kid GT says, hey, I just want to tell you Saints players going to my school tomorrow for a football game. We won a vote in their X post, and I'm so happy tomorrow. It was 80%, and rest was 20 and 5%. I finna talk to AK, bro. Dude, Stream Kid, send me some pictures from that event, bro. Send me some pictures. Tweet them to me. Instagram. If you have my social media, please send some pictures my way. I would love to share those with the channel. If you take a picture and you DM it to me, I'll definitely get it on the show. That would be sick, bro. Thank you for sharing that. That's going to be really, really cool. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations on having some Saints players come hang out with you guys. 10 seconds remaining. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Colorado says, should I flex Neighbors or Brees Hall? I'm going to say Neighbors because I think Jackson Dart's going to want to toss him the pill a bunch. I think Jackson Dart is going, when in doubt, says, F it, Malik down there somewhere.
I think that's one of the bigger reasons why Russell Wilson's not playing anymore. Malik had 2 stinkers.
Yep.
Russell Wilson didn't give him the ball. Week 2, he got him the ball a lot.
Yep. Totally agree.
If I'm Jackson Dart, I'm at least looking at Malik Neighbors.
Totally agree.
All
righty. We're going to sign off and head to the weekend. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Next time we go live, it will be on game day 1 hour before kickoff, giving away a Saints mini helmet. So I hope to see you guys there. Austin, you got a plethora of tickets. CTM, you got a couple. Todd French, Michael Morgan, and Mad Rummer, you also got tickets as well. We will see you guys Sunday. Y'all stay golden. Have a wonderful weekend.